You now tuned in to the Gumptown Podcast. I'm your boy Doug B. We ain't got nothing to talk about, but we got something to talk about. Let's go. Good people. Welcome back to the Gumptown Podcast, episode 53. I'm your boy Doug B. If you tuned in to this podcast, thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate you giving this podcast a shot. Today's guest, she is the founder and owner of Maid in Paradise, LLC. I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I'm sure you all will be inspired by her story. Let's give a warm Gumptown round of applause for Christle Franklin. Christle, how's it going?
Good afternoon. It's going great.
Glad to hear that. First things first, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to chop it up with me a few minutes. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. Of course, we're here to talk about Maid in Paradise, LLC. But before we go there, let's get to know the woman behind the brand. What's your story?
Well, I am a U.S. Air Force veteran. Maxwell Air Force Base was actually my last duty station before returning back home to Fort Benning. My parents, they're military as well. They retired out of Columbus, Georgia, Fort Benning. And once they retired, I wasn't used to just staying in one area for so long. So I joined the military shortly right after high school. After my military career ended, I remained in Montgomery, Alabama for a little while. I actually attended Virginia College for cosmetology for a little bit, went home to stay with family and just to regroup. You know, I'm not used to being still, as I mentioned before. So I was a little stir crazy. You know, the military, you're so used to everything functioning and structure, and I wasn't used to just having so much idle time. So I went back to school, obtained my bachelor's in psychology. I started working at social services for a little bit. And one day I was laying with my mom, just relaxing. And I turned and I told her, I was like, Mom, I'm gonna start a cleaning business. At first she laughed. She was like, okay, Christle, you know, you don't like to be bothered with touching too much stuff. Which is true because I like everything to, you know, be organized. And I figured why not use that to my advantage. So I let my brother, who is an awesome graphic designer, he designed my logo. And my aunt, she actually she scheduled my first paid customer. My family, you know, they've always let me just go in and organize cabinets, clean up around the houses for them back home. So with my aunt having my first paid customer, I thought that's something, you know, I was excited and nervous at the same time. But, you know, at the end of the day, with their support and their help, that long 8 hours, I actually had in my mind, like, this is something that I really want to do. And I've just been passionate about it ever since. So starting in Columbus and moving back to Montgomery since I was familiar with the area, and some of my old military comrades, they were my first customers down here on this end. And I've just been going ever since.
Wow, what a great story. And I heard you mention that you did serve in the military. Well, thank you for your service. Definitely appreciate that. So tell me about your military experience. How was that for you?
I love it. I actually miss it. If it wasn't for, you know, me having to go back and have corrective surgery, which I opted not to, I'd probably still be serving, getting ready to retire right now. But I love the experience. As I mentioned before, you know, my family, everybody in my family is either Army, Marines. I was actually the first Air Force person in the family, but I mean, I love everything about the military.
Nice. Glad to hear that. Glad you had a great experience in the military. What would you say is the most interesting place you got deployed to?
I actually never had the opportunity to get deployed. I wanted to. I know that sounds crazy, but
Wow.
I have traveling. I love traveling. And, you know, my ex-husband, he has had the opportunity to get a chance to go to all the places I wanted to travel to, but all my places have actually been stateside. So the best place that I've actually been to, I probably have to say Fort Dix, New Jersey. I have fun up there. It's different, but I love meeting, new people. I love experiencing new places, the cultures, the food. I love traveling. That's what I do in my personal time anyway. With or without my babies, I'm traveling whenever I have free time.
Love to hear it. I'm the same way. You definitely got to just get out. It's a huge world out there, a lot of fun things, a lot of
Yeah,
beautiful places.
exactly. Yes, yes, yes.
Now that's great. So glad you had a great military experience. So let's shift over into Made in Paradise LLC. What you got going on over there, products and services wise?
Currently, Maid in Paradise is commercial and residential cleaning company. We are servicing, of course, Montgomery and surrounding areas, Georgia, Columbus, um, Auburn, Alabama. We are servicing. We've reached out to a couple of customers in Atlanta area, Newman area. So we're slowly but surely we're getting to the places that we need to be. We're actually starting to open up teams on those ends, so I'm not just all over the place back and forth. Of course, having this wanting to have a successful company, I can't do it alone. So if you're anybody who is listening, if you're interested in joining an awesome team that is growing, please let me know. I'm looking for teams in Georgia and in Alabama areas. Um, it's more so residential right now, but the barbershops and salons that I do services, the churches, all those establishments that I do have, you're greatly appreciated. The realtors that have reached out to me here locally are doing an outstanding job getting the word out. Word of mouth has been, my best, my best marketing tool right now. I'm not as efficient with social media as I would like to be, and that's just because I am doing everything on my own right now. So I appreciate all those that support.
No, that's great. Word of mouth is definitely the best form of advertising, and trust me, I that's really how you get your name out there and get recognized and things of that nature. So that's good that started in Columbus, brought it back to Montgomery, and just been expanding ever since. I love to hear that, and yeah, like she said earlier, good people, you looking for a job, hit her up, and don't say I ain't ever did that for you. But nah, that's but that's good stuff. Appreciate you sharing that tidbit. So whenever I have entrepreneurs on the platform like yourself, I like to cover three things: the aha moment, action, and audacity. You've already covered your aha moment. One day you were with your mom and you let her know, hey, I want to start this business. And you've already covered that. So we can go right into the action step. How long after having the aha moment that you wanted to start a business did you take action towards actually starting the business?
That same day, I'm the type person, if I don't do something within the first 24 hours or the first week that I want to do something, or at least just writing a business plan, having something in motion, things tend to get lost quickly. So I like to act as swiftly as possible. I always have had the sense of urgency. So that same day that I talked to my mom, I reached out to my brother. He went to Fort Valley and he graduated with graphic designing. And he was the first person I reached out to, like, hey, I need a logo, give me some shirts made. I had the flyers printed up and I just started from there. My aunt, I actually went to my family after service. I talked to my mom that Friday, Sunday after service. I let them know that I was interested in cleaning. If they, let me have the opportunity just to clean their home, let me do a couple of before and after pictures just to get something in the atmosphere, just to let people know that I was, interested in starting this new venture. And everyone was also welcoming, and I appreciate that. It takes a great support system to make something happen. And ever since day one, I started with the t-shirts, logos. My parents and family, they were supportive. They were my, first customers. I didn't charge them because I just needed the before and after pictures just to show work. And that next month, when I had my first customer, I was like, this is it. It was long and a tedious process because I didn't know exactly what I was doing. Everybody knows how to clean and tidy up, but there, is a process of cleaning. And I appreciate my aunt because, military women, that's what they're not to say that's what they're used to doing, but if they stay on base or on quarters, then of course you have to move in and move out process. And my aunt, that's something she was used to doing with traveling with my uncle and their family, is not paying anybody else, but going through thoroughly cleaning, the homes that they lived in. So I used her tips and trips that she gave me, Googled a couple of things, and I've just been doing it from there.
That's great. And I love the answer you gave. Like you did it right then and there, having that sense of urgency because most people, myself included, you get caught up, you have ideas and you start overthinking, over analyzing. So you jump right in, right then and there. And the thing that's so dope about your story is you utilize your resources. You had a
Yeah.
brother who majored in graphic design, you had an auntie who had the background in cleaning and things of that nature. So that's really how you make it out here. And you said it earlier when you talked about hiring a team. You know you can't do it all by yourself. And
Right.
just being resourceful and utilizing what you had at your disposal, like that's so dope. And I a sense of urgency. Wow, that's powerful. Definitely appreciate you sharing that. And last but not least, audacity. It takes courage and audacity to step out there and start your own business. So I'm curious to know who or what gave you that audacity to step out there.
I have always just been a courageous person. I if I just, keep God first, a positive attitude, and just I've always had the hustle, to get up and go, the ambition just to try things out. You never go wrong with trying. What's the worst thing you could do is fail. And you could try again. Just go about it a different way. I my parents, they have always taught me that just you never know until you try with anything. The worst answer you can get is a no, and you can fail and try again. It's only going to make you a stronger individual. So, once I put my mind to doing something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. And, if it doesn't work that time, I can at least say that I attempted to do something. I love to say that I've been able to experience something. And the fact that, I've had longevity this long, and I've, just had the courage just to venture out and say, hey, I want to create products of my own and different merch and stuff. And I, just to expand in different branches of the cleaning market and cleaning industry. The fact that I just had the courage alone, and I keep God first, and I have a great family support system. That's pretty much all I need. And my babies, they looking at me. If you have people that look up to you, whether you know it or not, know that somebody is looking. I get all kind of encouragement and messages all the time, and I don't even, I'm not as consistent with posting as I should be nowadays. Everything is internet based. So, the messages, the encouragement that I get is just so rewarding to know that I'm encouraging someone else, or people are watching. That motivates me alone. And my children, every time we, come home to see what our highlights of our day were, or, what could we have done better moving forward, we always have these moments to where they always include, Mom, we appreciate you for doing this, or that motivated me to do such and such. So, the fact that you have eyes on you, that pushes me to just always want to give my best. Within the 24 hours that I have, I want to always give my best and have excellence in everything that I do.
Powerful. Nothing else needs to be added. So that's great. What inspired the name Made in Paradise?
My brother.
Nice, nice. Utilizing the resources again. I love it.
when I when I literally say my brother has been an awesome backbone in this whole process, like I was like, I don't know how to come up with the name. He knew, of course, with Fort Valley having so many resources and connections, he reached out to his friends, and they taught him how to, go through the list to see what names were available and, registering and all that kind of. I had absolutely no idea about starting a business. So reaching out to, awesome young Black people that have been educated by other Black people, it's the whole process has been amazing. And every time I get the chance just to share accolades with those that have been there with me, I'm going to do it. Every time I get the platform to do it, I'm going to do it. So I appreciate my brother.
Nice. Now that's great. That's great. Utilizing them resources. So Made in Paradise has done great things and will continue to do great things. So that leads to my next portion, which is vision. What are your short term and long term goals for the business?
I want to be, long-term goal is to be nationwide. I feel I have what it takes to be with the franchises and Fortune 500s that are out here. I believe I have what it takes to build a team in every region and to have Made in Paradise nationwide. Short-term goals that I'm currently working on, as I mentioned before, I want to get merchandise out there. I have started sampling microfiber cleaning cloths and connecting with different companies as far as cleaning solutions. I have a lot of customers that lean more towards the eco-friendly and natural products. And then I have others that like heavy duty, get the job done, one spray product. So I want to just have products that are available for every household, every establishment, and merch on the way. So that's currently what I'm working on. I want Made to be a in-home name, not just the cleaning company, but I want brands in homes.
Nice. Those are some great short term and long term goals, and I have no doubt that you'll make all of those come to fruition. So as we come down to the end of the podcast, I want to ask $1 million question. I started this podcast because I wanted to highlight the greatness of Montgomery, whether you were born here or lived here for a significant period of your life. You being here by way of the military, I'm curious to know, what do you appreciate the most about the Gump?
I appreciate the camaraderie. Maxwell, I chose to come back because Montgomery and Maxwell, being a military town, everyone seems to find a way just to get along, whether it's during peaceful times or through adversity. Everyone is always willing to lend a hand. And I notice that every day. It's so much going on, and the climate that we're in is just, you never know. It's uncertain times, and I appreciate those that are still genuine and nice enough just to say, hey, it costs nothing just to give a referral or just a helping hand, however, whenever. And I appreciate that. My children, they're in they attend a private school, and it's challenging because wanting them to be in the public school settings and not really knowing people around, but simply asking, hey, do you know such and such programs to where your children can be involved or families can be involved. And networking has just been so helpful, being a single parent here in Montgomery. And people are just so nice and generous. Like you would think with everything happening in the news and it's just always something negative, but there's more positive going on in the city that people just need to speak more of.
Powerful. Definitely appreciate you breaking that down. And yeah, that was all of you. Everything you just said was powerful. So, Christle, how can the people connect with you? What are your social media handles, Facebook and IG?
Facebook, you can follow me on Maid in Paradise LLC. Instagram is Maid in Paradise Cleaning. TikTok is MIP Cleaning. Our email address is maidinparadiseservice@gmail.com, and our number is 334-296-2059. And look me up personally. My name is Christle Franklin. Again, I'm the owner and operator of Maid in Paradise. I look forward to connecting and meeting the new potential customers and friendly faces.
Yes, ma'am. And of course, I'll put all of that information in the description of the episode. Hey, Crystal, thanks again for this conversation. I really appreciate you.
Thank you again for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good people, that concludes another dope episode of the Gumtown Podcast. We gone, but before we leave, remember, be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, have the audacity to be you. Gone. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate your time and your attention. Until next time.